It was one of those moments that no one saw coming. Nicole Kidman, elegant, poised, and always seemingly untouchable, finally stepped into the spotlight with a truth she had kept buried for years. At 58, after decades of carefully protecting her image and her heart, she finally said the words everyone had been waiting to hear. "I couldn't keep pretending anymore." For years, fans had only seen the glamorous red carpet smiles, the awards, the stunning gowns, and the fairy tale marriage to country superstar Keith Urban. To the public, they looked like the perfect couple. A match made in heaven, the Australian power duo who seemed to have it all: fame, family, and forever. But behind the scenes, Nicole was living a very different reality. And now, she's finally revealing what really happened and what her life looks like after walking away. Everything started to change a few years ago. While the cameras caught glimpses of their romance, whispers began to circulate, quiet at first, then louder with time. People close to the couple began noticing something different in Nicole. She wasn't glowing the way she used to. The sparkle that used to follow her on every red carpet was dimming. She appeared distant, distracted, like someone holding on to something that no longer made sense but couldn't yet let go. Sources later revealed that Nicole had been struggling with emotional exhaustion. While she continued to smile in public, those close to her say she was breaking down in private. And it wasn't because of career stress or fame. It was her marriage. She felt invisible, unheard, and lonely, even while sharing a home with the man the world believed adored her. Keith, meanwhile, was fully consumed by his music career. Long studio nights, endless tours, fan interactions, and public appearances. It became his life. And while he insisted that everything was fine between them, Nicole felt herself slowly fading from his world. She tried to hold things together, attending his shows, cheering him on, pretending the distance didn't hurt. But inside, she knew something fundamental had changed. Then came the breaking point. One quiet night that Nicole later described as her moment of awakening. She had been sitting alone at home while Keith was away again for a show. She looked around their empty living room, the framed photos, the awards, the life they had built, and realized she didn't recognize herself anymore. The woman staring back from the reflection in the glass wasn't the passionate, fearless Nicole who once chased love with her whole heart. She was someone lost in someone else's story, and so she made the hardest decision of her life: to walk away. But what happened next stunned everyone. When news broke that Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban were splitting, fans were heartbroken. Social media exploded with disbelief. People couldn't understand how a couple that had seemed so solid could fall apart. There were theories everywhere. Some claimed Keith had been unfaithful, others whispered that fame and pressure tore them apart. But for Nicole, the reason was simple. She was done pretending. In her recent interview, Nicole finally said what so many suspected for years. She had been emotionally drained, constantly trying to fix something that no longer worked. She said, "Sometimes love isn't enough when you lose yourself trying to hold it together." Those words hit hard, because behind them was a truth that so many women could relate to: staying in a relationship out of love, fear, or hope, even when it's quietly killing you inside. But this wasn't the first time Nicole had been through heartbreak. Fans still remember her painful divorce from Tom Cruise years ago, a chapter that left deep scars on her spirit. After that, she had promised herself never to let fame or love consume her again. Yet here she was, repeating a cycle she thought she had escaped. After the split, Keith reportedly struggled too. Friends close to him revealed that he didn't see it coming, that he believed they could still fix things. He even tried to reach out multiple times, but Nicole had already made peace with her choice. For her, it wasn't about anger anymore. It was about freedom, and that's when everything began to change. Nicole stepped out again, this time not as someone's wife, not as a partner in a Hollywood love story, but as herself. And the world noticed. It started subtly, a bolder red carpet look, a speech about independence, and then a quiet but powerful statement that made headlines. "I've learned to live for myself again." Fans couldn't stop talking about it. She seemed lighter, happier, glowing in a way she hadn't in years. Insiders say that Nicole threw herself into her passions again, producing, mentoring young artists, spending time with her daughters, and even reconnecting with old friends she'd lost touch with during her marriage. She began traveling more, visiting places that had once inspired her creativity. But it wasn't just about rediscovering her career. It was about rebuilding her soul. A close friend of Nicole shared that after the divorce, Nicole took a year completely off from Hollywood. No cameras, no press, no work, just quiet. She spent that time journaling, painting, and even attending therapy. She reportedly said she wanted to find peace outside of performance. That decision marked a turning point, because from that moment, Nicole started living with intention instead of expectation. Meanwhile, Keith's side of the story wasn't so bright. While he continued touring, fans noticed that something was off with him too. His performances grew more emotional. Some nights, he seemed to be holding back tears while performing love songs. There were moments when he hinted at heartbreak through his lyrics, and fans speculated he was singing about Nicole. He even released a song that many believed was an apology, full of regret and longing. But Nicole had already moved on emotionally. The public began calling her the Phoenix, the woman who rose from heartbreak stronger than ever. And when she made her first major red carpet appearance after the divorce, she completely owned the moment. Wearing a jaw-dropping gold gown that shimmered under the lights, she smiled, not a forced celebrity smile, but a real radiant one. Paparazzi photos flooded the internet, and fans everywhere couldn't stop talking about her new energy. That moment became known as her revenge glow. But Nicole didn't see it as revenge. In an interview soon after, she said, "It's not about getting even. It's about getting free." Her words struck a chord across social media. People began flooding her comments with love and admiration, calling her an inspiration for anyone who's ever had to start over. She became a quiet symbol of resilience, a reminder that age, heartbreak, and loss can all lead to rebirth if you choose yourself. Still, not everyone was supportive. Some critics claimed she was too cold, accusing her of giving up on her marriage too easily. Others speculated that she had already emotionally checked out long before the breakup. But Nicole didn't respond to the noise. She simply said, "Sometimes silence says more than defense." And maybe that's what made her story so powerful. She didn't need to fight back or explain herself anymore. Her peace spoke louder than any headline. Behind the scenes, Nicole's relationship with her daughters deepened too. Friends say she became more hands-on, more present. She started attending their events, cooking dinners at home, and focusing on family time that had been missing for years. She wanted her children to see her not as someone broken, but as someone reborn. But there's one part of the story that truly shocked fans. Reports began to surface that Keith tried to reach out and rekindle their relationship. Insiders claimed he sent emotional messages and even appeared at a few events, hoping for a chance to talk things through. He wanted to explain, to make things right, believing there was still hope between them. But Nicole had already made her decision. She kept her boundaries firm, choosing peace over pain. According to a close friend, she remained calm but distant, focusing on her own growth and healing. When asked about Keith's efforts, she reportedly smiled and said softly, "Sometimes love deserves a goodbye." That statement alone summed up her entire journey. It wasn't about revenge, bitterness, or regret. It was about choosing peace over pain. And yet, the internet can't stop talking about her transformation. Videos, think pieces, and fan posts all celebrate how Nicole Kidman, at 58, is living her best life. Not because she found someone new, but because she found herself again. She's been seen traveling solo, smiling in candid photos, embracing her natural beauty, and openly discussing how she's learned to value solitude. She said, "Peace is the most beautiful luxury." Today, Nicole stands as living proof that it's never too late to start over. Her story isn't about loss. It's about liberation, about stepping out of the shadows of expectation and reclaiming your light. And the most beautiful part? She's not looking back. At an award show earlier this year, She said something that silenced the entire room. Standing on stage, holding her trophy, she looked out and said, "For a long time, I thought love meant staying. But now I know love sometimes means leaving, so you can love yourself again." The audience erupted in applause. It wasn't just a speech, it was a declaration. Nicole Kidman had come full circle, from heartbreak to healing, from silence to strength. She's proof that even when life shatters your fairy tale, you can still write your own ending. And maybe, just maybe, that's what true happiness really looks like. Because after years of pretending, Nicole isn't pretending anymore, she's living. And the world can't stop watching.